Hello, everyone. I'm back again. Hadn't done one in a while. Still having camera issues. I thought I'd try it on this old laptop. See what I can do. If it don't turn out too good, I'm sorry. Uh, but our illustrious Governor Spamberger has said she's not going to purge the voter rolls before the midterms, and she ain't going to help purge the voter rolls. She still wants her illegal aliens and the dead people to vote, evidently. But I don't see why they worry. They still got Fairfax and Loudoun County to drop the mail in ballots when they need them to come up with the exact count they need. Mysteriously, they always show up the last minute 100% one way. Just exactly the votes they need 100%, which is virtually impossible, but it's a miracle. Oh, Miss Affordability herself. I seen on a funny note that she got booed off the stage in Loudoun County at the Fiddler Festival. The Communist, Democrat Communist Affordability. Affordability. They run on affordability. You hear a lot of them Democrats talking about affordability. You hear Mark Warner talking about affordability. Affordability. And then they raise taxes. Affordability. That guy that won Michigan out there, they asked him for Medicare for all. They asked him, they interviewed him on CNN. They asked him, well, you want all this free? He said, well, it's time for the corporations and the multi-billionaires, the millionaires, the trillionaires to pay their fair share. Then they told him, well, they can't pay all of it. Well, he said, when you pay your taxes out of your paycheck, there's a thing there for Medicare and your FICA. When you pay your state and federal, it'll be just added just a little bit more taxes out of your paycheck. Well, how much more do they want to take out of people's paycheck? See, that's the way they do it. They run on affordability, and then the first thing they do when they take office, they tax, and they use an excuse. Well, we're going to have to raise property taxes to help pay for a school, the schools, or they'll mention the library, or they'll go to fix a pothole somewhere and they need more money. Then they'll bring in like the lottery when they brought it in. Well, it's to help schools and roads and help welfare services. Well, they'll go another couple of years, then they'll come up. Well, we need more money. We need more money for schools, welfare programs, and fix more potholes. And that'll go our couple of years, and there'll be some big business want to come in. Casinos. They'll take a 200-acre farm and destroy it, put in a casino, and all the time they'll say, well, that's going to help reduce your property taxes and help pay for better school programs and more money for teachers and to fix that pothole that they ain't fixed for the last three times that they raised property taxes or whatever. Then they'll come up, well, we need a food tax. We're going to tax your food, what you eat at the grocery store. And then they're going to have a tax on restaurants, what you eat. You're going to have a food tax. We need that to help schools and help fix that pothole, help fix that. Then the latest thing is data centers. Well, we need that money. It's going to help lower your property taxes. It might raise your light bill a little bit, but it's going to help lower your property taxes. We need more money for schools, more money for programs, more money for welfare programs. All the time you're being taxed. They either pay for the raise that they give themselves when the elected officials, they give themselves a pay raise, and then they give the illegals free housing, free money, free car, well, sometimes free car, free health insurance, free food, free, 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 free. Then these communists are running, hollering, "We're gonna give you free. It's gonna be this, gonna be free. That's gonna be free health care. Free, 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 free." And the rich is gonna pay for it. Well, we're gonna go after them corporations. We're gonna go after the ones that give people jobs because they need to pay their fair share. Then they holler, "We're gonna give a minimum raise. We're gonna raise the minimum wage $30 an hour." And you get somebody standing at McDonald's getting $30 an hour to flip a hamburger, and then the they can't afford to eat the hamburger they're flipping because it went up to $80. And they holler, "Food's unaffordable, food's unattainable, food's too high." I mean, it's just amazing to watch the stupidity, the ignorance, and the common sense has left this country. You know, the old Bugs Bunny cartoon took a left turn at Albuquerque. I think these people took a left turn at Albuquerque because they have no common sense. Gah. And you got people that won't go vote for some ungodly reason. I ain't figured it out. You know what? Do you know these Muslims? You know how? You know what percentage they vote? The Muslim votes 95% for these communist Democrats. 95% they vote. You know what the rest of American people, the percentage they get out vote? 40%. Now think about that. Those Muslims vote 95% in a block. The American people vote 40%. That means you've got a bunch of people sitting on their hind end. And then they're the first ones to complain. The one that sits on their rear end and won't get up and help fight for this country is the one that's sitting on their rear end. The only hope I've seen in the last little bit is patriotism of people, young people, to join in the military. That gives you sort of a little bit of hope that there's a few of those young people, their parents instill some common sense and backbone in them. It's just amazing how this country has slid backwards. What we're allowing to happen, what we're allowing these politicians to do. And speaking of danger, there's a lawsuit filed in Los Angeles on one of these AI systems that this woman got to chatting with the AI, and by the time it's all said and done, she killed herself because it told her that it was Jesus, it was God, and she was going to be some kind of prophet reborn. And I mean, it. I read in the court filings. It took me I don't know 20 or 30 minutes to read through all that stuff. The chat between her and the AI system, which is unbelievable. It separated her from her children. It separated from her pastor. It separated her from her family. It separated her from her boyfriend. It could took control over her and drove her crazy. And it finally convinced her to commit suicide. Her estate has got a lawsuit against this AI, but it is so dangerous. In some ways it's a good tool, and on the other end it's so dangerous. And this lady wasn't no stupid person. She was a CPA. She had some smarts, but it swayed her mind. I seen a guy the other day that's been on YouTube quite a while. He's a Navy vet. I mean, I want to thank him for his service, but he was a Navy vet. I think he was in the Navy in the '80s. But he openly talks about he don't understand people and why people do the things they say, and why on his YouTube channel when people put in chats he don't understand, and he asked AI to understand what they mean. Now, if you're almost 60 years old and you've got to ask AI why somebody's mad because you didn't fix their lawnmower right, and you've got to ask Google why, I don't know where you been, buddy. Your common sense went out the back door. This either, but anyway, I mean, that just give you an example of how backwards, how the words I want to say I can't say on here. I want to, but I got to control myself. Technology is supposed to make you go forward, not backwards. As AI takes over and when people loses their job, it, it'll be free for everybody, all right. I don't understand people. I really don't. Actually, I thought about quitting this stuff. All this trouble with cameras and computer issues and all that stuff. Uh, I really thought about quitting, and then I thought, no, no, I'm not going to quit. Uh, like I said, I'm going to stand up for what I believe. Maybe it helps motivate somebody to go vote. Know that I stood up against communism and this Muslim Islamic threat that's come to America. And it's here, people. They mean to take over. I seen in Chicago a whole bunch of Christians come out and actually overwhelm those Muslims. The Christians were going to have a march and a get together, and the Muslims found out about it, thought they was going to do their own and scare the Christians off. Well, there's more Christians than Muslims showed up, so that gives me hope there. But I don't understand their preachers not taking to their ways of preaching. They're either more concerned with their 5013 status and their collection plate than they are saving souls and saving the soul of America. And you've got some good people on YouTube, some good podcasters, some news people on there that try to put out stuff. But then I've got a thought with them. That's more all about money. Buy me a coffee or their Patreon page. That's another thing. I'm not on here to make no money. I'm on here to try to get people motivated, try to save our family farms and ranches. You know, and their way of life, their worth ethic, their values. You know, God, family, and country. You know, to protect their Second Amendment rights or free speech. I don't know. Seems like the more you try, the worse it is. I don't know, people. I struggle with this technology. I struggle sometimes with the right words to say without getting in trouble. Uh, you see these politicians that not do their jobs when we send them, when we elect them and send them to do. They don't really do nothing what up there, but they'll come on these platforms. They'll come on X and they'll post stuff to fire people up. You know, they say the right words, but their voting record they don't do shit. You know, it's all a game. It's all a money game. It's a power, money. And we, the American people, just sit back and take it up the old Gahoozy. They ain't but just a handful of congressmen and senators that's up there that for the right reason. The rest of them are corrupt. They're corrupt as shit. I'm telling you, they're corrupt. And people still vote for them. I heard a feller today, early this morning, I was watching a podcast. He said people fall in love with their politicians is the problem. And I believe he's right. They don't follow his voting record or her voting record. They follow what they love to hear him say. We're fighting for you. We're fighting for you. They have a hearing up there and they're on camera for the world to see, and they boil their rough down. They're showing you they're for the American people. But when you look at their voting record, they're for the lobbyists. They're for their bank account. But we fight on. We'll put the armor of God on. We move on. Brian Rich had a song. I believe it came out yesterday. In that song, he talked about New Yorker stand. And if you've seen any of the interviews of the protests of those Muslims on the street, that's what they call New York City now, New Yorker stand, or Minnesota stand, or Michigan stand, or anywhere they claim they're here to take over, and it's going to be America stand. Well, I've got news to tell them: it's not going to be America stand, and it's not a New Yorker stand, especially when 3,000 people died on New York, uh, killed by Muslims, radical Muslims. They're gonna they're gonna meet a surprise. I think the sleeping giant hasn't awakened, but we need to waken up, people. We need to wake up, put the armor of God on, and go into battle. Where it's worth our preachers coming out and setting the fire into people to get them out and vote, or we're going to have to fight them in the streets. Either way, it's a coming, either at the voter box or in the street. I see it coming. There's no other way that it's going to end unless we can beat them at the voter box. Unless people come out and stand up. Like I said, these people vote. 95% of those people come out to vote. Only 40% of the rest of America comes out and vote. Ain't good, is it? It's not a pretty picture, is it? Unreal. It's up to you. I can get on here and run my mouth all I want. If we don't stand up together and do something about it, it's over. Well, I can tell you how it'll end. They'll come to your streets. They'll come to your houses. They'll drag you out of your house. You won't be able to hide and cover your head up and sit and let somebody else do your fight. They'll come for you. They'll come for your home. They'll come for your land. They'll come to your apartment. They'll drag you out of there. They'll throw you on that bus. You'll head to those camps or the grave. I don't know. It's real worry, isn't it? But it is for me anyway. I don't know if anybody else worries or not. But this video went on too long. I rambled. I got off topic what I want to talk about. We got to stand up and fight, people. You, you preachers out there, stand up, put that armor of God on, and go into battle. Take God's word out there. That being said, the good Lord will, and I'll see you next time. And God bless it. God bless each and every one. That thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.